or that Nano Swarm has to back off. The alarm bot leaves his target vulnerable, and that kind of initiates a push from him. Doesn't work out so well. The push continues to move in that direction, and Food's gonna gobble it all up. It's all down to Asuna
to just keep him there as he's trying to be that flank watcher, trying to be the one that's going to cut them on rotations and eventually flank. Now he's stuck in a 4 versus 1. It's going to be a very tough one to win.
Crashy's still hiding in the bin. The tailwind over top of the site puts Jet on the backside of the play. Crashy's able to quickly take care of Dicey. And there's the recon dart going down as well. The spike attempting to be planted here. Do they get it? No. Almost getting that plant cache.
Are stacked up there, and there's 3 looking to retaliate. I've seen this before as well. That's going to be the paint shells coming through, raining in the air, and that forces them to take the teleporter and put 1 away. And it's going to be a 2-minute advantage for Envy.
Silence.
Heiko with the pickoff on Crashies. The Sova v Sova goes the way of Sova. Who'd have thunk it? 100 Thieves going to get another kill as well. That's Dicey dropping FNS. They've lost some of that intel. Food able to take care of Dicey though, and that puts all the pressure on the clutch god. Cover, Hiko's now catching spam, has to be careful. The bullet's getting dangerously close, and he realizes the round is lost. It's time to run away. It will be another round on the board for Envy as he tosses a shock dart in as they try to follow up in his wake. But no kill will come in for Envy at the end.
The crossfire on B because the spike was dropped closer to the site. That said, though, it's going to be an eco 400 Thieves, and Dicey opens it up onto FNS, and that upgrades into a Phantom, and to keep pushing forward. But unfortunately, the spike falls first, and Mame drops with 2. So that's short A under control, and they also drop the Phantom upgrade towards the showers, and Envy continue to hold their ground.
Envy stalwart on the defense thus far. Nitro, the last man standing. He's had a couple of huge plays this event. People were concerned to execute in HAL. Now, one of the things that we loved when we used to watch Asuna play when he was on that 100 Thieves roster, when it came to, or on the Immortals roster, excuse me, when it came to Bind, they had this great setup with JC Stanny and the Boombot that they would take control of mid with. But here it's going to be Food who's pushing through in the showers. Mummy there with the backup as well. Now, Mummy does fall, but the advantage stays in favor of Envy. Yet again, 100 Thieves not having too much success the early round, going the way of their opposition. It's all falling onto Nitro yet again. He's in the showers, and the round's been rinsed down the drain as it's a 1-on-4 and 4 rounds on the board for Envy, about to become 5.
100 Thieves really want to try to control both extremities of the map so far with these gun rounds. And you saw that trip was going to push him out of position. That forces the hand for 100 Thieves to jump outside of Hookah, but it's still being held towards that back. And that's what I'm telling you about Caboose. That's 3 kills for him. And that's only going to be 1 more remaining. He still has the knives, and Dicey's in a predicament on this 5 versus 1.
Important to note, too, 100 Thieves have typically had a very strong attacking half on this.
It's going to push him out of position from the backside here. That's courtesy of Steel.
Left.
But as they're still playing the passive side on Lamps, they still have a better angle for Envy, and it shows. FNS gets the kill onto Steel himself, and they spray through the smoke, the wall bang onto Hiko. A second one for Caboose. And that we saw from Asuna when he played on Immortals, excuse me. And look at this fast play flying in. Rocket's going to go out, but in the meantime, 2 players had already fallen. So Caboose picked off one with a nade, and another one went down as well, reducing things to where we're at currently. And it's a counter rocket coming out. Caboose wants to send one into Hookah and does so. Doesn't really deliver on the threat. It'll just be down to Steel, though. 31 HP, and now getting caught as this player comes in on the flank. A dink shot. See one of the operators right now, Mame, by the APC, looking to push aggressively towards short, and he still gets that pick onto Steel. And he keeps walking and walking, taking that control, and with that, it's going to be FNS that's going to push forward. You're going to have a battle very soon. He wins it. He gets the double kill. There's only going to be 1 more, and it's going to be Caboose, the first one to get the kill.
As yet another round goes live. Number 10, double-digit rounds, but not a single one in favor of 100 Thieves. Cyber Cage goes out, but it's a little bit too slow, so FNS will fall to Dicey as they continue to push fast into this A site. But no, he accidentally dashes into the portal. So that'll be a bit of a mistake because it takes away the lead performer here, typically for 100 Thieves. Now, at the same point in time, they've still managed to get the spike down, but they did lose Dicey across the map in a battle against Food. Crashies is going to spot one with the Owl drone, and the dart sends Steel back into the showers. That gives Crashies an opportunity to move out further. Unfortunately, the timing will not work well for him, as Steel has been the MVP of the round for 100 Thieves. As Food tries to come through with just 2 HP, a self-heal is necessary. And that Killjoy ult is down, so the lockdown not going to detain anyone. As he waits for his health to tick back up to as close to full as he can get it. 98 HP is all he's going to get as he has to now dive bomb the spike to try and get the defuse. Quick kill coming out, but ultimately, though, it was the lockdown from Steel. Caboose has a great position right now with the way that things are shaping up. A rare shock dart kill onto Mummy, but it does lead.
This map control, pushing aggressively early into the round. This time towards Hookah gets stopped, but as his mixed buy is coming through, we are once again counting on Dicey with the knives, but he does connect onto FNS, so that works out. He upgrades to a Phantom, and they also open up the site to have a moment of salvation for 100. That's going to blind Dicey, but at least the crossfire is there to allow Asuna to get the frag onto Caboose. So last one to go is Mame. That clock is ticking down. He's just going to wind it down. He doesn't mind for them to lose the round in the end, but it'll be nice to get a couple of kills for Mame to just continue. There you go. To just continue to be crisp once they take the attacker side. And there you go. Finally, Dicey gets the third kill into the round.
Damage to Caboose. There's a dart in Nitro's side that's going to initiate a nade toss in his direction. Has to be careful. Does manage to get around it, but ends up falling to FNS, who gets into position. Nitro was still on the site, but ultimately does go down after just one more. Envy swarms the site and brings things down to 2. Hiko trying to do what he can with the shock darts, but the spike will be planted, and now it's retake time.
At least you have 2 at low HP here, Box. So that's going to be FNS low, Caboose low, but Steel fallen. And it's back to Hiko on an attempt at a 3 versus 1. So he has the information where at least FNS is at, and also where Caboose is at from where the paint shells flew by, sorry. And now they're going to go for a double peek. That's where he's looking exactly where Caboose is, but it's...
They did pick up a big win against Renegades 13-3 and also Complexity 13-7, but at the same point in time, the results certainly speak for themselves. Envy look like a completely different beast today, as they are up 11-2 and they're in a 5-on-3 as well. Looks like they might secure that 12th round as the spike's about to be planted. Dicey is forced to work with an LMG. The airs, is he going to be able to make something happen? He dashes in with the tailwind, and as soon as he peeks, crossfired upon, so now it's down to just 2.
Even a beautiful dart that greets
in those swirling winds, but not able to, as eventually the bullets will pour through and he will succumb to his injuries, as does Nitro coming through the portal. It all falls on the boomers. Hiko and Steel, what can they do with just pistols? We've seen impressive moments from them in the past, but it's not going to happen today. 13.
Their dominance versus 100 Thieves, as we said before in the pregame, we didn't see them get tested a lot, so we'll see what they're going to try to do. And it starts off with that double push from the Young Guns, but it's still going to be stopped by a passive play from 100 Thieves for the 100 Thieves at the A main.
Dicey waiting around the corner. There's the frenzy to take down 2. That's a fast 1-2 punch coming in from the Jet for 100 Thieves. Caboose pushed up on ramp right now, but it's Envy who's at a disadvantage, and a strong start here from 100 Thieves. The Steel picks off food as well at the bottom of ropes. Nice turnaround from what we saw in the previous map, as it now comes down to 1 and 1 alone, and that's...
Round was definitely lucky because it was through the smoke, but you're happy to get those. That helps to build that momentum. But Envy, they're forcing through this one, and they're looking to take the round back in their hands. So first one to fall, as they're trying to pressure down towards this mid, as 100 Thieves, they said, look, Envy, you kept pressuring us on that previous round, or the previous map, we want to do the same thing to you on our defender side here. And Mame, a share to the face, to the dome of Steel, as Steel falls, and they take a 2-man advantage.
Dicey moving into position, will spot the first one at the bottom of ropes, gets another as well with the SMG. Ooh, switches to the pocket SMG, it's a frenzy. Caboose sitting at the bottom, gets some support from his teammate, but they're waiting on the other side. Currently, Nitro taking a duel with Crashies, will win that battle. It's somehow awkwardly fallen into a 2-on-2. You've got Breach and Omen left for 100 Thieves. The spike going to be planted here. Envy's in a great position. Oh my gosh. Close. I was concerned. Watching Food sneak into that corner, thought maybe. And you can see the pings coming out from the squad as they try to offer some backup. First shot needed to be on the money, and it wasn't where it needed to go. So it will be 2 rounds in a row for 100 Thieves, but a promising second round for Envy.
Oh yeah.
You know, spike plant, 3 kills. That's
me into this round. So it's going to be another gun round or a force buy coming in for Envy. Well, you do have a couple of Phantom Inspector and still a surprise attack from Food and make that a Sheriff in the face of Still again, unfortunately, but Nitro's in the sight. He drops 2 of his own. He's low on HP. Close range is going to be Mummy turning around the corner at the pillar, and that's one player to fall. Arsenal on his own, making it a 2 versus 1, upgrades to a Phantom, and as the spike has just been freshly planted, he still has a chance, to press this forward.
Asuna dropping to the bottom of ropes. There's 2 players remaining here on the other side for Envy. Asuna didn't really get his foot in the door in that last map, but has an opportunity to start that here. Asuna slowly creeps out. There's one towards spawn. The Jiggle Peek comes through. The dink shot's in. Nice shot from Asuna, though. That eliminates Mame. There's the paint.
Into this round. So the tides have turned into this first half early, but it's still going to be Nitro that gets 2 of his own. He wants to turn this back for the 100 Thieves, and that's 2 to fall, but no spike. It's actually still hiding behind a dark cover, and he's looking for his teammates. He's got the camera out. That's FNS looking back and forth, and they have to count on 2 players on mid to try to open it up. But it's still a 2-man crossfire towards that heaven side, and Nitro even eliminates the spike carrier as they're slowly trying to pinch in. So Food on his own, looking for another clutch here. He gets the first one onto Steel, back to a 2 versus 1.
Food climbing up the ropes. Breach getting the free shots into his back. Hiko was just holding and waiting for him. We talked about it. That'll be Crashies popping his ult, moving in towards heaven. Caboose gonna just send a rocket straight to the face of Steel. Look at the bait and switch that's coming in from Envy currently. This is masterfully played. They've made them believe that this is going to be an A hit, when in reality the spike is over on B. Sure, kills are piling up for 100 Thieves, but surprise, the spike's all the way across the map, and Mummy's in a position where he can get out of dodge. And now they've pushed in through the spawn. Food's able to catch off Nitro, and the plan starts to work out for them. 3-on-3, the number is still not an advantage for Envy, but they've got time on their side if they've already managed to exhaust some of that clock. Hiko somehow catches Food off guard. The flash comes through, and he can't get around the corner in time, with low HP picked off by the Ghost. Mummy with a quick shot coming out from the operator, but it's going to fall onto him. The Blade Storm gets popped. Mummy, though, missing, and now it's down to a 1-on-1. It's up, but it quickly fell apart for them, and it's down to just 2. It's the Cypher and Breach, FNS and Crashies. They have spike control at the very least, but Steel is waiting at the top side of ropes.
Oh no.
Great damage dealt, but somehow not able to finish off either target. Does the turret find a kill? We'll find out.
Towards the A main, you did have a cyber cage and a camera, so they know where one offer is at, and it's going to be Nitro that connects onto Mummy, who is trying to dash across into the A ramp. And now from the shadows, and Steel working from the air at the A heaven is also able to hold the aggressive push coming in from Envy. The Crashies have made it his way inside the site, gets the first kill. A nice fake plant, actually. He looks for the angle, but unfortunately on the timing, looks back, and Asuna takes the upper hand. You only have 1 more to go. Food with 11 HP. I like it. Yeah, they are looking for this right now, so they could just go for a buy at least towards the last round, and it's dashing up towards the heavens. But Dicey and Steel hold it with a Nanoswarm and the operator. As another gets dropped, it's a 5-on-2 situation as they're trying to look up with the last 2. Crashies, one of the players that unfortunately couldn't upgrade. Asuna looking to move forward, checks the 50, takes him down, and it's all up to Food.
Food waiting in 100 Thieves do when we move into that second half and we see them on attack. Food sneaking up. Can't quite get the angle right. Steel is holding it perfectly, patient as ever. 6 rounds now in favor of 100 Thieves. 1 up over.
Well, the showstopper is going to give a chance for Mummy to position himself, but it's immediately traded out. He got 1, so he did his job. It's a 4-on-2 in favor of Envy, as you have Asuna that's still looking to retake this with Dicey. Dicey has his own operator, which would make it difficult for them to go for that retake. They still have paint shells to work with where they can clear this corner. There you go. He throws it into the area, and that maybe could flush somebody out, but it's a little bit, no, it connects right on the dot. Football, showstopper to come out, connects onto another one. He pulls himself up. It's a 1 versus 1 as Dicey dashes in with the frenzy, picking up the Vandal, and now it's all up to the time. Unfortunately, it's weights off, and as he slows down finally, he's met up with his teammates where Nitro is forced to fall back. FNS still manages to get the frag, and they're looking to push back into the A site.
The pistol round right now, numbers advantage for 100 Thieves, but Envy's got sight control. Steel with an execution onto Caboose, putting a bullet in the back of Envy's one player towards screen. Steel's now up in heaven trying to do more. Steel with the lead to Envy, with them now on the defense. Crashy sending out some flashpoints. That helps FNS go for the peak. Nitro dive bombs the site, and it works out well as 100 Thieves take control of B, but quickly through that dark cover, Mummy picks off Nitro. Spam through this box as he goes for that dedicated spike plant. Yeah, there's the push through. There's not much that can be done. Mummy with great work, finding a 3K here and bringing the score to 7 apiece.
7, tied up in this second half, where 100 Thieves are trying to work back as a unit to take control of this B heaven. It started off with a flashpoint, but there's still going to be one to fall. Steel, though, goes to work on his own from the kill, but still manages to fall back. That allows Food to push forward, but still 400 Thieves to move inside the site and get the spike plant down.
Spike planted.
Food spamming through that swirling cloud. Dicey just runs straight in and takes the battle. Crashies is there with a quick trade. Mummy is moving in as well. The Killjoy ult has been popped and it's about to dissipate, and it does. Crashies has to back off for the time being. It's a 1-on-2. They've still got to deal with the Omen and Breach on site. Some fall damage for Crashies as he dives into the site, but nice flash coming out. Even with the alarm bot triggering, he's got a target straight to his left. Does he peek this? He actually gets around the corner in time. This is really well played from both sides. As Crashies taps the spike yet again, Nitro isn't falling for it. Does he have the time? Takes the peek.
Yeah.
And at this point,
Now
it's
he
all
does.
too far gone. 100 Thieves managed to scoop up the round, and even the turret is...
It was going to be the patience, using the timer on your end. And Mummy, this time, though, is looking to even up the tally, trying to bring it back on their end as they have their own eco, but it doesn't pay off.
Crashy's picking off Steel across the map as well. Advantage Envy currently, but the weapon advantage is there for 100 Thieves. Suna will catch Caboose coming up at the top of the rope. Now Crashies is in the pressure position. He's in the hot seat on the site with a Bulldog. Around Pillar currently, it's all going to come down to whether or not Asuna tries to clear this all the way. Crashies picks off Nitro, and there's the flash coming through as well to make things a little bit harder, but Asuna, with that twitchy aim, able to flip back onto his target. But it will all fall onto Asuna. 2 currently up in heaven.
Who's looking to return the favor into this round. Every time we saw him die, he was able to capitalize onto something else to just redeem himself from the previous round. But this time, that battle, I was going to mention Dicey versus Mummy, but it seems to be Dicey versus Food, and it pays off in dividends for the defender side, leaving only Nitro on his own with the Sheriff on a 4 versus 1. He does have the spike to work with, has no ultimate points, so he cannot go for any type of fakes, but he could definitely go for those kinds of headshots. So Crashy falls. It's a 3
to work with. A little bit of time on the clock, 40 seconds. This smoke is going to make things a little bit awkward, though. Caboose might get caught off guard. It's all going to come down to timing, and Caboose just watches it patiently. Yeah, it was a little bit sketchy there for a second. I thought maybe Caboose...
With this gun round, they're looking to go for some type of aggressive plays towards the B side, and it's an ultimate towards heaven, but Caboose gets the first kill with the boom bot. Fully blinded as FNS. He eats a couple of paint shells, forced to fall back inside the site, but Caboose leans over, gets the first kill onto Steel, a second one onto Dicey to put the third onto the board. Make that a 4th, looking for the ace, as Nitro, again, unfortunately, on a 5 versus 100 Thieves, as Steel could have the element of surprise by playing Hell, and we're going to go for the full plant. At least that money rings in. So you're going to add more money into the next round. And it's planted at default where actually he goes shadow steps on the top of the catwalk. This could be big right now, but unfortunately Caboose waits for him. And as they double up here towards the heaven side, Steel in a tight corner playing the off angle, and Crashies takes him down. And it's going to be 11-8. 2 more rounds needed here for Envy to seal the deal in this series to make it 2-0.
He's
trying to gain control, and look at this. Food is in a great position. Do they know this? That's another 1-for-1. Nitro goes down. Dicey gets the trade. There's the Killjoy ult coming in, the lockdown. Breach is still on the B site. Mummy has to move out of position, but that's a quick shot coming down onto Dicey. Now, the ult does give them control of B, at least for the time being, as Crashies has backed out of sight and surrendered it over. Neural Theft will give away player positions. Rolling Thunder coming up, and it's right on the money. But it creates a skeet shooting-like scenario for Mummy, and he can't connect with the op. It does come down to 1. It's Steel.
On this map of Split.
2 quick kills make it 3 coming out for 100 Thieves to kick things off in this round. Backs against the wall.
All the matches since we were in the close qualifier, right? Think about all the matches that we've casted throughout the other 128 teams, down to 100 Thieves, and also to Envy. But Envy are at map point, looking to make this 2-0, and it starts off well as FNS runs around the map and gets 2 kills of his own. He's fully flash, and he has a teammate to help him out. Somehow he's still alive, and finally gets dropped by Hiko. Hiko trying to run inside the site, crossfired by 2 players. 1 more to go. It's gonna be Steel to get dropped by Crash. Yeah, right now definitely using Duelist for individual plays, selfish plays as Reyna instead of Raze seems to be the case for both of these teams. And it starts off with a great pistol, a trade-off of 4 versus 4. Cyber Cages to come up and her turtle sight in the back of the site, but Mummy at the staircase, another frenzy, 2 kills going on in his favor. As the rest of 100 Thieves, they're trying to push forward with another mix buy, only having the Sheriff into this round, but it's Food aiming on the site, on the top of Switch, looks down towards Pizza, and Asuna falls.
Food get that information and buy time for his team to get into better positions. Mummy now right around the corner, still can't manage to make it work with the Sheriff, but just a few seconds left as they try to make their way onto the site. Somehow they're going to get a spike plant out of this potentially. Ooh. No, it's denied, and the round is as well. With just 2 seconds left, there's nothing that can be done for Dicey, who's executed in the end by FNS.
And Asuna trying to move forward. Op shot missed, that forces Mummy back. So Owl Drone, sorry, is going to spot one, and it's still going to be Food that gets the kill onto Asuna from the mid side. But they're coming in from all angles, actually, for 100 Thieves. They pushed out towards the A main. It's trading out. They got Catwalk. It's down to a 3 versus 3. But this
walk has to be careful. You can see Hiko is currently ready to fire a dart into that position. It goes on the opposite corner, and Crashes is able to dodge the damage. Has to be careful. There's one right around the corner. The Op tries to peek up closer, and Crashes capitalizes. It'll now fall on to Hiko. With 23 seconds left, he starts to move into position and gets spotted from spawn. Jump peaks coming out on short as well to make sure that he's not moving in too close. As the Hunter's Fury sending pulses out. FNS is waiting right around the corner. There's players in B main, just have to be patient right now as the Lear comes through first and blinds him. Nice dash coming out from Dicey, but it's not enough to get past FNS, who manages to pick up 1 more. Yet again, it's Hiko all alone, and Envy just keep
information, at least on the first one running through. A dart spots the second one, so they're going to spray through the default box, but Food still comes out on the white swing to save his teammate. Hunter's Fury to come out. Food is still looking to save his life in the front, but they line up, and he takes 2 with the Hunter's Fury. You also have control towards the back of the site, as it seems as though we do have the Omen already making his way with Nitro. Watching the rotation, but he loses the fight to Caboose up on Catwalk. A 3 versus 2, a spray through the smoke. Caboose is down to 81 HP, but they have wasted enough time here for Envy to eventually come in for a crunch time into the A site. Trade after trade, though, it's going to be Hiko looking to clutch this out. He's spotted. He's swiped well to see if they're going to push out towards that ramp. They did. He came back, got the first kill. Asuna trying to even out the tally. He gets 2 of his own with the Spectre, and he avenges his teammate and puts it back in advantage of the 100 Thieves. And Asuna is moving forward with the Showstopper, looking for his opponents inside the sewers, but does not connect. The paint shell's coming down, forcing him out, but he's falling back. Caboose is now running forward, and he's going to catch him off guard. A backstab of his own. A 3 versus 3 as Food has made it inside the site to get a kill, but Hiko immediately trades it back. It's a 2 versus 2. As they have their own duels across the map on the A side with the spike being planted. That's Hiko now on his own. At 22 HP, all he has left is a fault line and also the angle. The wall bang onto Food. The information given away as he trips over the trap wire. As Envy, with the Showstopper still available, paint shells in the air. And Hiko, oh my god, he's playing it so well here for this 1 versus 1. Caboose is just playing that time. He's the one that's playing it super well. He goes for the jiggle peek from the blast pack, and he's just counting.
A rare miss there for Mummy, as Steel peeked his head out from A and nearly got spotted. Quick dink coming out from Nitro, a repeat coming out from Hiko looking for a trade and a follow-up. There's a little bit of damage, but can't quite find it. And now it's fallen all onto Steel, who was over originally on the A site, now dropping down into the ropes, paranoid out of position. And he's got players on all sides.
Spike will also be behind, so Steel pretty much at this point as he's being spammed. Okay, connects with 1 shot. You know it's still going to be Grim here. He only has a Sheriff on a 3 rope area, and they chase after him. And as they chase after him, you have to come in Envy. Mummy's been using his operator on the attacker side, but they haven't had a chance to give it to Dicey.
I love this aggressive push coming in from 100 Thieves. Now, it didn't really work out so well for them.
30 seconds left.
Hiko's got to be careful as they're coming around the corner. The nade lands right in his lap. That's the first kill coming through. Nitro on the site. Here's the blast back being popped. 23 seconds left as they start to gather up control of the site, and Steel is all the way across the map. The round is lost, and Steel knows it. So
Yeah.
no sense going for it. No sense really wasting anything. It'll be a round for Envy as they...
At the pregame of this map, even though you have a lead, maintain your composure, and Mame does so. A connection onto Asuna, crashes with the crossfire. He's able to get the kill, but that's 3, made that 4!
Advantage. Steel now trying to move past the dark cover, does have an operator, wants to move in close, but Mummy is waiting on the other side with arms wide open. It's a nice big hug coming in from the op, the spam through the box, right on the money. 100 Thieves yet again.
Where the positioning from the defenders will be at the beginning. They're on the opposite of the map. They're turtled back. They're forcing now 100 Thieves to get into versus a stack, and it just doesn't work out.
That timing as well was perfect over in A main. Mummy with a nice paranoia, but it wasn't even necessary as Asuna got towards the switch before being taken down. The spike is dropped back
Towards the back of the mid, and it's going to be Hiko that's going to have to watch Dicey's back. And Hiko at least wins that 1 versus 1. So they're being chased towards the back, the dash towards the back as well. Will they be able to save it? They will. Play aggressive on Envy with the confidence. It happened before 2 rounds ago when they won a thrifty round. This time it's going to be on a gun round that allows Asuna to get the 2nd point onto the board, make that Dicey chiming in and steal as well. It's looking to be a flawless, but unfortunately it gets stopped. But Crashy still gets spotted towards the back of the site, back of the spawn, and he's getting wallbanged down to 15 HP. It's looking to win on a 4 versus 1, but at least it'll secure a spike plan towards that B side.
to clear out the B site. But there's the pulses coming out. They're trying to take down the ult for the Killjoy, and it works out. So they pop that ult, and they manage to eliminate the threat. Steel still moving in. Spray coming down towards the stairs.
Okay.
Nice shooting by both him and Asuna to make it a favorable round. FNS and Caboose trying to do what they can, but it all falls onto Caboose, who pops Empress. Now in a 1v3, a target in spawn, spotted them as they try to go around the corner. There's the Lear to lead them in, and yeah, not really much that Nitro can do about that one.
Oh, an off-shot miss as he dismisses. Oh my god, that was so good from Caboose. Now he gets inside the site, the Lear. That 2 versus 1, but a perfect recon dart spots him towards the cabin for Envy to go for the pulse pass situation and position.
There's the ult being popped, and they're starting to run into position. 100 Thieves capitalizes on poor timing from Envy on the ult pop. Everything lands on Crashies, who's currently in sight. The cross shot is right on the money. That buys time for Crashies, who's currently on site. Mummy maybe just saving the day with that quick shot that comes out. Now Crashies may have seen the barrel around the corner. That's the spike going down. Hiko's trying to move into position. Crashies now has to keep his head on a swivel. There's a player on both sides. Now the Nano Swarm will land in sight just outside of Hell, but there's the quick shot coming in from Crashies. He's now brought it down to a one-on-one. It's Crashies versus the clutch god himself, Hiko, who's trying to spam those boxes in sight to spot out his final target. There's the shock dart coming in, looking to do additional HP, but some armor as well. There's the wide swing as well, the paranoia coming out. But the team is actually grouping up more towards mid, and they just lost the spike. That's a huge kill. The spike is dropped actually in no man's land. Luckily for them, their jet is actually able to go and pick it up. Asuna taking significant damage from Mame over on short. Dicey with a nice shot from distance delivered by the Sheriff. Puts Crashies in an uncomfortable position. Holding down short alone. Dink shot coming through, but it's not really. Steel is on site, and oh boy, Steel's going to need some help. The turret gets taken down. Paranoia pours into that position. Nice quick shot coming out from Steel, doing what he can. But the spike will be planted. Dicey's looking for that target that should have been short. Hiko is going to pick one off, and that's actually the spike planter going down as the shock dart lands right on the money. Now Dicey hits an initial dink shot, has to follow it up with a shot in the toe. But regardless, 100 Thieves have themselves in a great position. It's now 2-on-4. The Frenzy in close position, not going to work out so well, and it's all up to Mummy. Mummy's picked off one, trying to make it work, but there's just too many targets, and they are far too close. Envy moves fast, trying to take control of Catwalk and explode onto the A site where you've still got one waiting. Hiko sends some shots down range, but decides to back off. As the spike comes through, there's a shock dart out. Crashies with great shooting on the Sheriff. Some bullets pouring through the floor, doing damage, but there will be no fatalities as of yet. 4-on-3 numbers advantage still in favor of Envy. But the equipment brought into the round favors 100 Thieves. As I say that, they lose another piece from Heaven. He's got Nitro moving in from Cat. They start to work their way in. Paranoia goes out. That will be what leads them in, giving them protection from Hell. It all falls to Hiko. Just like that, Envy finds round number 10. The pistols.
On Catwalk. The participation medal so far was that they were able to put down food to 5 HP before he has to heal back up. But then Dicey has different plans. He peeks out on the catwalk. He takes 2, maybe not even a 3rd one. But it gets traded off finally by Crashy. Killing spree has been stopped, but it's still a 2-man advantage in favor of the defenders.
One enemy remaining.
Well, so much for that strong push coming in from Envy here after picking up that nice round previously. Crashies all alone with a Bulldog. We'll see if that Bulldog is all. Steel has to back off. That does give them control of the ult orb, which means run it back is now a problem. As he peeks wide, he does drop the spike plant, but there's the push that comes through with that ult as well. They're going to move into position. The knives, not exactly where they need to be initially for Dicey, but eventually does take down the Phoenix. The ult will send him reeling back into B main. Caboose picking off Nitro, who was hiding in the site, and it's a
To be such a dominant factor for the success of Envy on this map. But Dicey trying to move in. We're still watching him. It's just Hiko trying to do heroic plays on his own. He gets a second one here, but the clock is still ticking on that spike. They're just looking for that econ damage, and there you go. And he's even going to possibly die to the spike too, and indeed it will. 11-5 in favor of Envy.
Getting reminders of Split that early back and forth in that second half. Quick shot coming out from Envy. It was Mummy with the pickoff. Dicey wants to go through the cyber cage. There's the Hunter's Fury being popped from Hiko. He's had so much success converting on that ult throughout the series. Steel is able to pick one off as well with the Sheriff. This aggressive look is working out nicely, at least in the early round, but Envy's recovered as Mummy goes ham with the Bulldog, finding now 3 kills on the round. Damage definitely heavy currently for Mummy as the shots start coming through from Catwalk. Mummy has to be careful. There's a Paranoia and a backstab shot coming in from Crashies, no less.
It's a perfect crossfire. It's a perfect bait and switch as well for Envy. And things are just going to be impossible for Hiko. That clock is running down. He misses it versus Crashies. And we now have map point, series point, and tournament point for Envy.
Caboose is just cutting them to pieces. It all falls down onto 2. Asuna pops his ult as well, figures, what can I do? This is a bit of an odd ult coming out from Crashies, but it doesn't matter in the end. Caboose will get that 3rd and